Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive Talking Nerd, John Norgrove, and this is Nerd Jive. It's a little different because I'm shooting like two things back to back. But I wanted to get some news out because there was actually some really cool news recently. So we're going to do this real quick, and then I can shoot the next thing, so stay tuned to that. That's anime related for the anime this season, which is spring of 2018. Also, keep an eye out for D&D. We rolled up characters last Sunday, which in hindsight I probably should have shot because we realized that we just literally rolled up characters of ourselves. Well, they rolled up characters of themselves, which is Dom, sister, and wife are going to be playing D&D. I'm going to DM for them. And we should have our first session this Sunday. Should have the first video out, hopefully, assuming I can edit things efficiently enough, by Monday. So stay tuned for that next Monday, which should be awesome. We're going to do several hours of D&D and live stream it. So don't forget to follow us on Twitch, or follow us everywhere. So just follow Nerd Jive everywhere. I'll post it on everything. I don't know if I'm going to live stream to Twitch or to YouTube. I haven't made that decision yet, which one's easier for me to work with. But, yeah, D&D. It's going to be fun because we're not playing with regular rules, and you can figure out what that means if you catch the Sunday live stream. So, let's get to the nerdy news. We don't have weather today because I totally bloody well forgot, but it's actually a pretty nice day outside. I can see it. Well, I can't see it because there's a wall there, but I know. I've been out there recently. Anywho, so first up is really thin lasers. Specifically, lasers that could be mounted into or directly above the eyeball, which is, you know, Superman eye lasers, essentially. So these scientists have come up with the ability, so it's the University of St. Andrews, which I imagine is in Scotland, figured out a way of using organic semiconductors to produce thin, flexible membranes that produce lased light. So, you know, laser beams. Of course, the way that they tested this, so their thing is we can put this on like a dollar bill, right, on money, so that way it is even more difficult to forge money. So it's a security function. But they could also do this mounted on a thin membrane, like a contact lens, and then apply it directly to the eyeball, so that way you can discern. It essentially allows the laser to convert visual information directly into ones and zeros, which is super, super awesome. They tested this on cow eyes. I hope removed cow eyes, and we don't have some fucking Scottish longhorn hairy cows walking around with laser vision. I would rather that didn't happen ever in my entire life. And they also suggest that this could be used for biophotonics and photomedicine, both of which sound so Star Trek-y that I don't know what either of those two words mean at all. But yeah, we're working on Superman eyes, and I found that super interesting. The article that I have is super short, and then I went to the Phys.org article, and it was incredibly complicated. And so, there you go. Next up, NASA completed its full power test of its the kilopower nuclear generators, which we were hoping to use for Martian power generation. So essentially one of these things produces like 10 kilowatts of power, which is enough to run like a toaster. And then you put like 10 of these things together and you can run an entire habitat, because when you're in space, efficiency matters. But basically these are like nuclear reactors, but very, very tiny, very, very low power, but very, very stable. They were able to turn off the cooling mechanism, right? So like shut down the cooling mechanism, and then like crank the power up to maximum. So crank the output to maximum, pull out the cooling mechanism, and the thing only heated up 15 degrees, which is awesome. Like, that's really, really good. The whole system is designed to, once you press the on button, you press on button, and then you walk away, and you never do anything else. So this is totally no humans involved kind of a situation. They're currently working on, so they also ran these tests in like vacuum chambers, and they ran these tests in like environment simulation situations. But the next step is to build a flight-ready version. Not to build a flight-ready version, but to get approval to test one as flight ready. And the reason why I say that is because these guys did it right. They didn't build like a kind of half-ass one over here to do some tests, and then we're going to build a second one over here to do some tests, then we're going to build another one to do some more tests. That's dumb. What they built was as close to the finished product as they could the first time, and then ran all their tests. And all the tests have been fairly successful, but it seems like a very efficient way to do it, and this thing is moving very, very quickly. This is all, Dave Poston is the chief reactor designer out of Los Alamos National Laboratory. This really could be the future of space travel and habitat power generation, is utilizing these small nuclear reactors. And yes, solar works, but if we're looking at putting people on Mars, not only do you have darkness, because sun's set and such, but you also have windstorms, which means that, and if you watched the one with Mark Watney, the Mars one, he had to constantly, I don't know that they brought it up in the movie, but in the book they did, he had to constantly sweep the solar panels off, so that way they were at their full peak efficiency for his travel to the secondary launch site. And that's a really good example of what could possibly go wrong. That went wrong with one of the rovers that lasted longer than its life, and then it got covered in dust due to a dust storm, and we lost contact with it. And then all this time later, another dust storm blew by and blew the dust off. Then it fires right back up, and it communicated with us. So on Mars, here, not that big of an issue, but on Mars, because of the prevalency of dust storms and the thickness of the dust that's laid down, you have to worry about solar panels losing efficiency that way. And using nuclear reactors is a pretty good idea, because Mars is pretty barren. Also, these nuclear reactors aren't Chernobyl, huge, using big rods of fucking plutonium and all this. It's just this little itty bitty dainty thing that's built it's built for tough. So that you either agree with that or don't. But it's a great idea. That way, also, if they're small, they're easy to transport, they're easy to send over there, they're easy to set up, and then you put them way the fuck over there, and then you run a real long power cord all the way to where you're sleeping, and then you're fine, because if that shit goes screwy or weird, it's way the fuck over there. It doesn't affect me at all. So, again, solid idea. Let's see. Oh, okay. A video was released. I was gonna say Donald Glover released, but that's wrong. Star Wars, I guess, Disney, released a video that is Donald Glover giving us a tour around Lando's Millennium Falcon, and it's amazing. So watch that. That's all I'm gonna tell you about it. Just watch it. It's absolutely amazing. I really, really want Solo: A Star Wars Story, which is a stupid fucking title. I really want the Han Solo movie to be successful and to be good, mostly because Donald Glover's in it and I love him deeply. He's absolutely hilarious and he's a solid actor. I don't have a lot of confidence in that, but we'll see. You know what? You will see when it comes out and we do a review of it, and I either, eat my own foot because it was absolutely solid gold, or I'm going to yell, "I told you so," like an asshole, because it'll probably be super late at night and I'll be a little drunk. So you got that going for you. Two last things real quick. So first up, Ryan Reynolds on the whole merger. Basically, he doesn't know what the heck's going on. I mean, he had a statement with EW, and I could read the whole thing, but he doesn't know what the heck's going on, but he believes that there is plenty of room for rated R characters within Disney, the Disney-owned Marvel space. And frankly, the stupidest thing Disney would ever do is buy back all those characters and then PG-13 up Deadpool. Deadpool has been incredibly successful. And of course, the second one hasn't come out. Maybe the second one's a piece of shit, nobody likes it. That's 100% not going to be the case, right? But we don't know. Ryan Reynolds does a great job. His team does a great job. Deadpool is a fantastic movie with infinite rewatchability. The second one looks right now to be 100% on par with the first one, good old time, that kind of thing. And frankly, if Disney buys this, if they were smart, they would expand the rated R universe. So they'd have the Marvel MCU, which is the important stuff, and then they would have some sort of a rated R Marvel MCU that would let let the studios and the writers and the actors do that more extreme stuff that came out of comic books from the 80s or that people are into. So I think it's a great idea, and I hope Ryan Reynolds doesn't have to worry about it. And then last up is space news. Blue Origin's New Shepard successfully launched, and they also had their test crew capsule on there, which was returned to Earth safely. It was launched safely. Everything's 2 thumbs up for that, which is good. I mean, it's not SpaceX, and SpaceX is like my bread and butter. But, yeah, the more Blue Origin succeeds, the more pressure they put on SpaceX, the better it is for all of us. Now, not all of us here plebeians who work a day job, because we're never going to afford to be able to go to space. But it's better for, like, research in general. And it's really just better for everybody all around. So, yeah, I mean, let's go Jeff Bezos, let's go Blue Origin. Yeah, that was all the... I was trying to think, did I have one more thing? But no, I did not, in fact, have one more thing. So, either way, that's been the Nerd News. I've been John Norgrove. This has been Nerd News. This has been Nerd Jive. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, share, subscribe, tell me what you're thinking. Oh, and also, stay tuned for that D&D stuff. It's gonna be fun. Or not. We'll see. It'll at least be entertaining for you guys. Stay nerdy.